your pick. Was it justified that this game was played? Certainly we saw entertainment, and certainly for Peter Taylor, a reasonably satisfying outcome. It started badly though, with that wonderful goal and this magnificent finish, both by Dennis Rosa. But how well England came back after the interval. Mills capitalising there as Robotsky, the keeper, took a risk in coming out so far. Then he was whipped over, quite definitely a penalty. And an emphatic strike by James Beattie to bring England level. Several new caps have been collected by England players tonight.
Tonight by the England U21s, they were 2 down at the break. They've levelled it at 2-2. And here's John Curtis of Manchester United and the man of the match, Danny Mills, with George Gavin.
Danny, John, well played. How difficult were those conditions, Danny?
Oh, it was, it was abysmal. We knew beforehand, it was obviously, it's very close to being off. We're glad the game went ahead. Unfortunately, they played it much better first half than we did. They got about it, and they came out of the blocks a lot sharper than we did. Thankfully, we got back into it and got a point out of it.
Great spirit to come back. Were the conditions responsible for their goals, do you think, John?
Oh, I think so, definitely. Danny was unfortunate to slip over for the second one. And the first one, the pitch played a part in that one as well. It seemed to be more, the way we were kicking in the first half, it seemed to be a lot heavier in our half. So they had a lot of an advantage in the first half. When we changed round, it made it a lot easier for us to build up from the back, although the conditions didn't really allow us to do that too much at all.
Heads could have gone down, but no, you came back in the second half superbly.
That's right, the lads showed a lot of character, and that's what it's all about. We gritted our teeth at half-time in the dressing room, and we got down to it and pulled a good result back in the end. We'd want to go on to win it, but very difficult giving 2 goals away early on in the first half, so it's good, but we would like to win.
Danny, not many goals for you, so they're a bit special, aren't they, that one tonight?
Yeah, obviously delighted with that one. Just sort of seemed to rise above a crowd of players, and as I sort of fell over it, sort of seemed to go in. Then we got a penalty, which beats smash time. So it's great to get 2-2, and I think maybe we sat back a little bit then. I think we seem to have have the draw, whereas I think we maybe should have gone for it a bit more.
Back to bread and butter now. John's going for the treble. You're trying to stay in the Premiership.
Yeah, it's going to be a really hard fight. Hopefully, the pitch will be a bit better Saturday. But I think we'll have to fight even harder than that if we're going to stay up, and hopefully that's what we'll do.
Great teamwork tonight, though, guys. Well played. Danny's man of the match. John, if you can give that to him, the nationwide man of the match. Well played, guys. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Isn't it good to see 2 young men with their feet firmly placed on the ground there? Both of them, well done. What about the performance overall, Ray?
Well, I'd have to say we criticised the pitch a lot, Paul, before the game started.
Well, we didn't have anything else to do for it.
Well, I thought before the game started it should have been called off, but as the game went on, the pitch definitely improved, and in the second half we got a reasonable game of football. But it was great to see the lads fight back, because we did go down 2-0 a bit easy. We were a bit soft in the first half. But the second half they showed a lot of spirit, and there was only one team going to win. Judging on the reaction from Messrs Curtis and Mills there, the England boys perhaps feel a little disappointed to only emerge with a 2-2 after it all.
Well, I think the confidence of the lads, they want to go and win every game, but they've done well to come back. Really, they gave Hungary a 2-0 start and then came back well second half and could have won it. Richard Creswell had a very good chance with the header later on and could have won the game.
Let's have a look at the story of the match here from the start. If you're joining us late, you won't see that there were actually puddles on the field pretty much up until the time the game started, and the water was still lying on the surface as the game eventually got underway over an hour late.
Well, that was a free kick for the first goal, Paul. And I think Hayden Mullins, it was 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. He was struggling there with Molnar, I think it was, but that was a fantastic free kick from Rosa.
24 minutes in.
Brilliant free kick.
Yeah. Great technique.
Conditions not a factor in that one.
Not at all.
Were England just slightly off the pace at times in this first period?
They were, but I think when you've been hanging around so long, your mind, you think, well, the game, is it going to go ahead, isn't it going ahead? And maybe they went out there maybe not quite fired up for it, but once they went 2 goals down, they were fired up for it, and second half played very, very well. And some of the new caps did extremely well for themselves.
And that was one of the few That was one of the few instances. If we go once again, look at this.
Well, we're laughing about it now because, as far as we understand, no direct injuries resulted from it. But as we'll see later, it did have a part to play.
There was John Curtis there trying to swoosh one away with his left foot, once again getting stuck up in the water.
Second goal for Hungary.
Yeah, this is a poor goal to concede. Peter won't be happy with this. Straight down the middle. Bad header from Barry. But what a wonderful finish that is. He played extremely well, Rosa, in the first half. Great technique here. Gets stuck in the puddle here, scoops it out, and then just dinks it over Richard Wright, who goes down for me just a little bit early.
Looks a talented young man, this chap, Rosa. Nice composure all night. He did very well indeed.
Bad moment here, I'm afraid, for Newcastle United, and Andy Griffin in particular.
Yeah, his ankle, I think that'd be his ankle ligaments, Ray, don't you? Where he's come down nasty on it. He's actually landed on the lad's heel as he comes down, and then it's gone over on the turf as well. Yeah. But hopefully for Rude and for Newcastle, he'll be fit for the next few games and obviously the cup final.
England fight back, second half.
Yeah, lovely ball in from Hayden Mullins. The keeper's come out like Superman there, misses the ball completely. And there's Danny Mills really making up for his mistake in the first half and getting England back in the game.
Fabulous header, wasn't it?
Well, it's very brave.
Ball in from Hayden, but as you say, Nigel, the goalkeeper's all over the show and Danny makes the most of it. This is where the worst of the water was here, but that's great play there from Richard Creswell. Only a good tackle denies him a real good goal-scoring opportunity.
Here's the keeper again. He let us back in the game, really. But Danny Mills does well again to get on it here. And for me, it's a definite penalty. He just pulls him back. Molnar there, and the referee does very well, but he's got his Teflon gloves on there. Mills does very well, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does very well. It's a good old-fashioned penalty kick as well, isn't it, James Beattie?
Jeff Hurst style, I thought, actually.
He did whack it.
The keeper's unlucky here, actually. It hits his leg, and a little bit more on it would have flown over the crossbar, but James Beattie gets his first goal, and pleased for him.
This was virtually from the kick-off, actually.
This was a definite penalty. Definite penalty. We see it from the other angle, and Gareth Barry gets nowhere near the ball. Although it's gone out there, it's nowhere near it.
How did you feel England look defensively second half, Ray?
Well, they obviously changed their system, and they worked very hard at it. You know, we had Curtis Woodhouse go to left full-back, which is an unnatural position for him, but our bench determined where a lot of the lads were going to play because we had a lot of forward-minded players on the bench. So I think it's great when you see young men like Curtis Woodhouse go back and play at left forward. He's probably done it before, but he's stepping up in a level to do it here and did it very competently as well. So it's nice for him to be able to have done it.
A couple of extra pluses going forward, in particular Darius Vassell.
I thought he was great when he came on. He's a lovely lad, Darius, and he did really well for the under-18s, but he came on there and showed what he can do. And obviously Villa have got a very, very good player in him, and it looks good for Peter Taylor and the under-21s as well, because they're all fighting for places. Wayne Bridge came on and did well, Richard Creswell did well when he came on, and all the new caps, you know, look good. And when he gets them all back together, ready for the next Euro game, I think, you know, go from strength.